still continuing on our Sierra tour. And right now, I have the pleasure of introducing you to Mr. Ray Krause, Westbrook Wine Farm. Ray, how are you?
Oh, just swell, thanks.
Good.
Thanks. Welcome.
Well, I've had the pleasure, as we walked out and through the vineyard, of getting an amazing education that I didn't even expect to have at this point by asking some questions. I love the fact that you pride yourself on not just making wine. There's a whole lot that goes into this. You've studied appellations, different temperate zones. You decided, you know what, we did a great thing in Paso Robles. Let's take it closer to the grandkids. You brought it here to the good side of the valley on the Sierras with us. Give me a little history of how this whole thing came to be.
Well, the idea is something that started about 46 years ago. And after 46 years of making mistakes and profiting thereby, we settled on this little piece of ground which has all the attributes to grow the kind of wine that my wife Tammy and I like. Right. Just in case no one else likes it, we're prepared to drink it all.
I love it.
Yeah.
So when all the decision making came into to coming over here and making this happen, then was it just a lifelong dream, or was it trial and error, and then all of a sudden you ran with it? I mean, how did it come to this?
4 decades of downsizing.
Okay.
I mean, I come from a winery where we shipped 40,000 cases a month, and downsized to a winery that only shipped 2,000 cases a month, right. And neither of those were any fun.
Okay.
So now we ship directly into consumers' hands, by the way, direct from the winery, maybe 100 cases a month. And now it's fun.
Right. Some of my favorite characters of winemakers are the ones with the boutique wineries, the smaller ones where you guys have direct input on everything. Like you said, there's not a ton of employees running around, and you control every part of it, both the successes and the failures. Let's talk a little bit about some of the successes, though. There's a little bit of metal hanging around some of the bottles of wine that you've created. Yeah,
we are pretty lucky. Turns out quite a few people like the stuff that we do, and we do sell out every year. In fact, probably 50% of our wine is sold before it's even bottled. We have a little mailing list of very loyal customers. It's a growing list, and that's how we do most of our business. Otherwise, it's in the tasting room right here in the winery. So,
let out that secret. How do they get involved and become a part of the mailing list and then be able to get on this pre-buy?
Visit our website, westbrookwinefarm.com. Give us a call. Come up. You're stuck with us. We're the only ones here. So we'll be the ones pouring wine, and if you choose, we'll deliver it to your doorstep in Fresno or Madera. It's our pleasure to do that.
Tell me a little bit about your favorite varietals, and then do you do other stuff besides just your favorites? Tell me about the scope of practice.
We do. We planted this vineyard. This is our Fait Accompli vineyard. This is a purposeful field blend of 6 different red Bordeaux varieties. We grow Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Malbec, Petit Verdot, and Carmenere, which are 6 of the 8 approved red Bordeaux varieties in this vineyard for the purpose of harvesting it all on the same Sunday in September every year. Okay. So my job is to make sure I have 6 varieties at their peak in physiological ripeness on the same Sunday in September, when we invite some of our customers, the first 75 that say yes, to come up and help us not only harvest the grapes, but every bunch is hand manicured in case there is a light-colored grape or a raisin or a bird-damaged grape. Those are all culled out of every bunch before we will even use them in the winery. Right. So then we make our signature wine called Fait Accompli.
Now, are you as stingy with your marketing as you are with your perfection on making great wines? Do people have to come right here, be a part of the mailing list, or can they find that somewhere else out in the public? I know the Wine Trail does a great job of getting people up here for you. You are worth the drive. Tell me how other people can get this.
Yeah, let's talk about that drive. It's only 35 minutes from downtown Madera or downtown Fresno. So it really is, it used to take me longer to get from San Joaquin Country Club over to the airport before the freeway was put in. So it's really not that far, and it's a nice drive. Tammy and I feel like we go on vacation every day we come home. So we do have one retail outlet, and again, by design. We chose to do everything direct to the consumer, but we couldn't help but have our wines represented at Sierra Nut House in Fresno. Wonderful people. They do not have what we'll call a grocery store wine selection. And there's nothing wrong with grocery store wines. We all use them and drink them, but Sierra Nut House has a very eclectic collection of wines and nice family, good people to do business with. So, and that's our only retailer in the whole United States.
Mr. Krause, I'll let you get back to doing what you do best in the vineyard. Thank you so much. Come up and visit Westbrook Wine Farm. I'm telling you what, you'll be pleased when you get in here. You'll probably be even more pleased by the time you leave, so make sure you take a little precaution when you do this right. But the wines are fabulous, well worth the drive of getting here. Look for the totem pole. You'll be able to find it. There's a whole lot more Valley Life coming up next. Don't go anywhere.